Stand up and strap in. It's time to ride a massive open world of the Alps and Alaska, where the powder is always fresh and the run never ends. Defy and master the world's most epic mountains with skis, wingsuit, snowboard and paraglider. Go solo or drop in side by side with other players. Record and share the most insane stunts ever captured. Dare your friends to try out your custom lines, then challenge the world to beat your best tricks and relive your most epic wipeouts. The mountain is yours to explore, so strap in, suit up and drop in for the ride of your life. And welcome back guys to Leo Gaming. Glad to have you back, and yes, today is my review of the game or winter extreme sports game Steep, which was developed by Ubisoft Annecy and published by Ubisoft also, and it was originally released on the 2nd of December 2016. Now I did know this game was about, but I didn't realise it was made by Ubisoft, that's for sure. And it's never really, to me, I don't think this game's ever been promoted that well, because I've seen a couple of videos on it, but it's not been sort of thrown in your face. And having played it, wow, what a game. I mean, this takes me back to Cool Borders. Yes, the absolute classic Cool Borders on the PlayStation 1. Anyway, Steep has now been recently released on Game Pass. So, without further ado, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you very soon. So to start off with, we're going with the visuals, and yes, this game is absolutely stunning visually. You only have to look at my screen, or the screen right now, and the gameplay to see that. It has got stunning mountain ranges, and the views is almost postcard-esque. You can stop anywhere on this game and you will get an absolutely stunning view. I did it a few times myself. You can also, even the snow effect, the snow particle effects. You've got even to as far as as you go, disturb some surface snow as you're going down the slope. You get snowballs running beside you, like sort of adding realism to it. But the actual effect of it is really, really good. Difference is obviously because you're going quite fast, you don't tend to sort of have a close look at those snowballs, so they could be quite rubbish, but in terms of texture. But as you're going past and you see them going past you, the whole scene, trees, the snow effects and stuff like that, looks absolutely stunning. So I have absolutely no complaints in terms of the visuals. In terms of sound, it's got an okay soundtrack. It's nothing to, it's nothing that stood out to me. During your exploration moments around the area, you get sort of a cool rock soundtrack. It's weird because you sort of, when you're actually on the move, you get like a sort of rocky grunge soundtrack. When you're stopped, it almost knows you're going to look at the views because it goes into like a mellow sort of bit of music, and it's really clever actually. So the moment you start moving, the music changes into like a rock soundtrack, sort of match what you're doing and stuff like that. In terms of in the menus, you do get sort of definitely a mellow, scenic, thought-provoking style music, almost sort of self-reflecting music. I almost sort of had to stop there and ponder my life for a couple of minutes. But apart from that, they've done nothing wrong in terms of sort of the actual sound effects within the game. Yeah, I don't really know what snowboarding sounds like. To me, it sounds realistic. There's nothing they've done completely wrong as far as I'm concerned, otherwise I would have picked it up. So yeah, in terms of sound, it's all good. Mechanics, you've got several different things. The whole goal is to level up to level 23, to sort of basically tame the king of the European mountains, Mont Blanc. Obviously, you're based in the Alps to start with. Within this, you get so many challenges. You get mountain stories, checkpoint races, TV ads you could do, film shots, freestyle events, and all of these are sort of certain challenges that you can get are things like I said, the checkpoint races, the freestyle. The mountain stories are things with like you get like a backstory to it, and you have to sort of complete certain objectives within it, and you do TV ads or film shots and stuff like that. Similar to Forza Horizon. See, that's another part of it. The actual map, the map itself, is definitely reminds me of Forza Horizon, just with all the pins all over the place and the 3D-ness of the map itself, which is really, really good. It's actually a good map style. I do like that. I do prefer that map style. So yeah, within this game you've got paragliding, you've got a rocket wingsuit, you can ski, you can snowboard, you've got a normal wingsuit, you can speed glide, which is a paraglide with skis on, and all of them you will use to complete various challenges. The freestyle events are basically things where you want to gain points. You do as many tricks as you can down a certain course. Try and perform tricks off of cabins and stuff like that, which is really, really good. In terms of the actual, I'll come to that in a minute actually. So yeah, within this you unlock XP. So basically you gain XP, which is standard with any game nowadays, and you level up. As I already said, you've got to level up to level 23, and you will get, after each one, you will unlock various rewards, i.e. customizable objects, like certain attire for your character after the events and races. And things like, you can, with the customizable stuff, it's things like from head to toe. You can do your snowball, change your snowball pattern, your ski pattern, your coat, your trousers, your shoes, your hat, your goggles. You can add little extras like an ice pick or a pickaxe. I can't remember what they're called now. And you can also add little extras like a GoPro and stuff like that, what gloves you got. You can add badges to your attire and stuff like that. So it's very customizable. The only thing you can't customize that much is the character. You get a preset character. All you can customize is what he wears and, the patterns on your snowboard and stuff like that. But like I've already said, the map itself reminds me of Forza Horizon, which ain't a bad thing. That's actually pretty good. You can also join up with other online players at the touch of a button mid-run. I did do that while I was doing one of the start towards like you do like a TV ad where you got to follow this skier or through like a certain area of the map, sort of nighttime, where she talks about the history. It's supposed to be a TV advert, and then what ends up happening, I end up having another, because as you're going along, you basically can see other players that are playing online. And if you press X on the Xbox controller, it sends them an invite and you can join up together. So what happened is I joined up with this other player who was doing it at the same time as me, obviously at the same level as me, and we were both bouncing all over the place trying to follow this woman. It was almost like a comedy sketch rather than an advert. It was so funny, like just the way we joined up, and then we ended up bouncing all over the place. It was funny, really. You also get events, which is basically online challenges that other players have uploaded. You get a progress tracker on your character, which basically is a stat-based menu which gives you all the progress compared to each challenge and what level you're at. And you get a news section, which is Ubisoft updating what's going on with the game and any future games coming out, like Riders Republic. In terms of gameplay, I will be honest, the game is very, very tough. There's some very, very tough challenges, like I had to ride through the tiniest of gaps between these two rocks at speed. And then I had to also do a jump over a formation of rocks, which was quite a large jump. But to get there, you need to make it, you need to go at speed. Now, the problem with this was there was those avalanche barriers just before the jump. So I tried several different methods. I was going round, but then you weren't going fast enough. And then, so eventually it took several tries. And that's the thing about this game. You will find that you will start again over and over and over and over in most challenges, which is good because it's got so much replayability. And it also, there's no sort of obvious tutorial to tell you how to do it. You have to sort of self-learn a lot, which is good. I think they've done that deliberately because then there's the replayability and it gives the game longevity. The thing is, It's not in terms of having to retry things. It's not to the point where you're fed up of it. It's just enough where you will do it, and when you do it, it is very, very, very satisfying. But yeah, so like I say, eventually I got through these barriers and managed to get speed over this rock formation. You do get also massive airtime with loads of jump types. It feels very satisfying when you land. It's got that realistic sort of, you know, that realistic feel to it. You can jump off things like cabin roofs, rock faces, cliff sides, and all sort of mini little jumps and stuff like that. You know, man-made jumps and things like that. It's the whole game. You know, the control for me, the actual control is brilliant. It is so fluid and realistic. It brings me back to Cool Borders, the original. Obviously, they're completely separated in terms of graphical and what you could do on it, but in terms of the control and the way it moves, the realism of it, like for example, SSX Tricky is a completely unrealistic arcade type game. See, I define realism in terms of, can you do it in real life? In SSX Tricky, all of that stuff you can't do in real life. This is realistic, and that was what Cool Borders was like. The control is fluid and realistic. And also, there's a couple of areas where you get those sort of grey rock sides coming in, which also reminds me of Cool Borders. It's exactly the same. I mean, in terms of Cool Borders, going back to the sound, it's actually, the soundtrack of Cool Borders is actually better than the soundtrack of this, the original Cool Borders on PlayStation 1. I mean, what I would like to do is get the PlayStation 1 out, put the soundtrack of Cool Borders on, and then just play Steep. But yeah. Also, the camera angle can be very, 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 very frustrating at times when you get stuck. That is a couple of the downfalls. One of them is obviously the lack of tutorials, which obviously if you don't persevere, you'll probably give up. But the camera angle, when you get stuck, obviously it gives you the option that you can reset and go back. But sometimes you get certain points, challenges, like there's one which takes about 5 minutes. It's like basically an open piste where you just can go whatever route you want. It does advise you to plot your route. So, and on the sort of the mini map or the map, you can actually put flags down, because it goes into like a 3D, move the camera angle where it becomes 3D, so you can see where the trees and rocks are, and you put flags down to plot your route, because it takes about 5 minutes to get to this finish line. And obviously if you go the wrong way and you go down past it, you can't get back up unless you start again. So there's that. But in terms of if you get stuck behind a building or a rock, it's so frustrating. The camera angle's bouncing all over the place. It doesn't matter what way you're pressing, you can't seem to get out of it. And it's sort of, it looks like it's glitching itself out. So that is one of the downfalls to when a game is more realistic. You get situations like this where it struggles to, you know, judge what you're doing, sort of thing. And yeah, it really struggles. That is one of the downsides to this game. So yeah, that is mostly all the stuff on this game. There will be things I have missed because I won't have covered everything. Like I say, you do get the online co-op mode, which you can do at any point, which I think is a great feature. These are one of those games that it's good to do that, and it's almost, sometimes it can be like almost like a ballet. Like we done it earlier. Obviously at the start, when you crap at the game, you're sort of bouncing all over the place and not really doing that great. You're falling off and falling over. But when you're a lot better at it and you progress through the game and you sort of connect with somebody else, it can be like a ballet. You're sort of weaving in and out of each other's paths and jumping. It's actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice. I say nice. It's good. You know, it can feel very sort of satisfying. The fact that you're both sort of performing this routine going down the slope. Sort of, you're not talking to each other. You're just sort of naturally reading what each other's doing. It's really good. I do like that feature of the game. But apart from that, so overall, I would say the game is definitely, I've absolutely had fantastic fun with this. I still am going to carry on playing this. I definitely say get it off the Game Pass. You will have so much fun. It was a bit of a steep learning curve in terms of just where you've got to go, because that's something that the tutorials don't show you. You do get a suggestion on what to do next on the map, and it will take you to an event. But it's a bit of a steep learning curve. But once you get into the flow of the game and the controls, you start adjusting to how the controls work, and familiarise yourself with the sort of weight of the character itself when you're going around turns and stuff like that. It becomes a fantastic game. You've just got to persevere through that slight learning curve, which could be sort of an hour or two into the game. And they do chuck you into it as well. They do chuck you straight into it, which is good. And I think they did that deliberately, so you get right into the game and start learning. But like I say, I would suggest you definitely get this get this off Game Pass, even if it's just sort of to ready yourself for Riders Republic when that comes out. I've got a feeling that's why they released this on Game Pass, so people can sort of think, oh, I can get Riders Republic. It's a bit of sort of subtle promotion, I would call it, because they definitely promote the next game, Riders Republic, within Steep, because you keep getting a pop-up in the menus about it. That can be frustrating. That has happened a few times, and I thought, for God's sake, just go away. Almost as bad as EA when they're promoting Ultimate Team. But anyway, that's another story. Yes, go and get this game off the Game Pass, absolutely free, and enjoy it. So, that is the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Just make sure, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and make sure you check out my previous Game Pass game review, which was Zombie Army 4 Dead War, which is on your screen right now. And thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.